Welcome to Joy in Our Town. My name is Terry Bates. I'm the pastor of Faith Church here in Oklahoma City, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to talk today about Good Shepherd Ministries right here in Oklahoma City. We have with us Pam Timmons, who is the Executive Director of Good Shepherd Ministries, and you have an opportunity to learn about a very valuable ministry that's serving a variety of needs for our community. Pam, it's great to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Let me just take a brief moment and ask you to tell us about the origin of where Good Shepherd started and how they began their journey of ministry here in Oklahoma City.
It actually started at First Baptist Church in Oklahoma City as part of their mission, and was a volunteer doctor that one night a week would come in and see patients, and he encouraged other volunteers, and it kind of outgrew the church, and it actually moved into a converted bar for a while, and it's now its own clinic. It started back in 1977. We believe that just like Jesus did, he helped the needy and tried to heal those who were sick, and that's exactly what we try to do there at Good Shepherd. We pray with our patients. We believe that holistic healing is just as important as the rest of the healing that you need to do.
Well, over time, Good Shepherd Ministries has kind of expanded, as you've already indicated, going from its origin to its own clinic. It's really got three legs that we want to talk about, three divisions, I'll say, of this ministry. But let's kind of highlight each one separately, first of all, and then I think you've got a testimonial of someone that's really benefited from all of these services. But first of all, it is a free clinic to Oklahoma City, to people who have a need. Let's start with medical. What kind of medical needs would you be able to meet at the Good Shepherd?
Well, all of our patients have to be low income and they have to be uninsured.
Okay.
Our medical, we, just like you have your regular doctor who is your medical home, we try to be a medical home to our patients as well. Our majority of our patients have chronic diseases, diabetes, heart disease. A lot of times they've come straight from being in the hospital with a very serious illness, and we take them on and help them get better and manage their illness that they have. And
you mentioned the low income factor, because this is really a ministry that's trying to fill the gap that's not covered by Sooner Care, by the Affordable Care Act, or by businesses, employers that are providing. There's a hole that's not being filled. A lot of people that are transient, maybe, they're not officially homeless living under a bridge necessarily, but maybe they're going from family to family, but they're in a situation where they just don't have a means or any way to have any type of coverage.
That's correct. A lot of people don't understand that Medicaid does not cover adults. Medicaid covers children, pregnant women, seniors, and adults with disabilities. So if you're an adult and you're low income, there is no state or federal aid out there for you. And so the gap is huge. Here in Oklahoma, a fourth of us are living in poverty. 200% below poverty level, which I don't know how they even pay rent. I really don't understand. And then our dental, again, I don't understand. That's even a higher percentage of us that don't have any dental benefits and go around with tooth infections.
Right.
And a lot of them will go to an emergency room. They have got a tooth infection, and of course all the emergency room can do is provide a pain medication and antibiotic and send them on their way, but you still have an infected tooth and it's still going to flare up again, so you end up back in the emergency room. And that ends up costing you and I, because we have health insurance and the hospital has to write off that uncollectible debt, and that funnels back down to those of us who do have insurance.
Right. But you also have a special program on the dental theme on Monday nights that's kind of unique as well, that you get a pretty high volume of appeals for the Monday night opportunity. Explain that to us.
Yes. Obviously during the day we see our medical patients are treated on the dental side as well. But then on Monday evenings we have an extraction clinic, and we allow people that aren't necessarily our patients to call in. It's a first come, first serve. And beginning at 8:30, our phone starts ringing for 16 to 17 slots, and they're all done by medical or dental students from usually OU School of Dentistry. And there is 1,000 phone calls for just those 16 or 17 slots every Monday morning.
Amazing.
And then on Tuesday evenings, we do pediatric dental. So there are children out there that don't qualify for Sooner Care. They may not be a legal citizen yet. They may be going through that process, or they may be a foreign exchange student, or there's a reason why they don't qualify. So there is a need out there for children as well.
That's awesome. And then in the third division, you have the medical, you have the dental, and then you also provide some pharmaceutical.
Yes.
So explain maybe what the perimeters are of that.
We do not have any narcotic drugs, but the pharmaceutical companies donate medications to us, which for a diabetic, that's huge. A lot of medications are very expensive. Insulin is very expensive, and we're lucky enough to get about $100,000 a month in donated
That's awesome.
pharmacy products. We're also have been a pilot program for the new Hep C drug that is out. It is very expensive. You are required to take 2 medications for a 3-month period. One medication is $1,000 a day. The other one is $1,000 a month. So you're talking about close to $100,000 for one patient.
Yeah.
But every one of our patients that have been able to qualify for this has tested no Hep C when the pilot program ended, which basically means they're not going to die from liver disease or liver cancer.
Right. Incredible.
Huge.
Well, so you've got a number of legs here, but people always like to hear a story maybe of someone that you particularly stands out, that you've helped in these 3 different ways. So can you give us an example that people can kind of put in their minds?
I can, and I think this is the type of patient that every nonprofit would love to have, because he doesn't need us anymore. Quentin was working a part-time job, but he had a drug and alcohol addiction problem, and so everything he made on his paycheck was going to his addiction problem. His boss noticed one day that he was going into the bathroom before he reported to work and brushing his teeth and cleaning up in the bathroom. So she called him in and visited with him and found out that he was homeless. He was needing help but wasn't asking for it and wasn't seeking it. All he cared about was his addiction problem. So she reached out, got him into a rehab, got him cleaned up, got him in temporary housing, reached out to Good Shepherd. So we were able to provide some medication for him. He also had Hep C. We got him on our pilot program. He also needed some teeth pulled. He needed some dentures. He had some bad infection in his mouth. We got his mouth all healthy, which, by the way, also affects the rest of your overall health. And he didn't have a ride after receiving one of his dental treatments, and our dentist even paid for a taxi ride for him to get back home. But Quentin now works at a job 6 days a week at one of our major oil companies as a chef, and he has health insurance now and does not need us.
Wow, that's an incredible story, and how truistic it is, because here's a person that's kind of in that hole, that's not being covered by any other means, but being able to connect up with a ministry like yours and have doctors. And I think another thing that I heard you say that appeals, I think has a high appeal to me, is that this is also a place where medical and dental students that are in training can have the opportunity to come and find an outlet for their skills development as well.
Yes, we've got nearly 1,000 students that go through either the dental or the medical or the pharmacy every single year. And a lot of those end up volunteering at our clinic too, because we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for all the nurses and the doctors and the dentists and the hygienists and everybody else that volunteers at our place.
Yeah. Well, and of course, in addition to the volunteerism, we all know that all nonprofits are dependent upon people helping to support that vision, and they could learn more about your overall program and what you're doing through your website.
That's correct.
But it's amazing for us to know that you have this clinic that's providing this service. I am interested in maybe asking also, can you see a clear line of maybe an estimate of percentage about, is your demand higher for adults, or because you have pediatric and children's services as well? Is that a pretty large constituent that you serve as well?
It's not very, our children are small because a lot of children here in our state qualify for sooner care.
Right.
So we do see children, but it's a small percentage. The higher percentage that we see, believe it or not, are women. I was kind of surprised. It's 80% women. I guess men generally don't go to the doctor, or maybe women have greater health needs. I'm not sure, but almost all of those women are women with children. So they are taking care of a family. Over 80% of our patients are also working. And they are
just falling in the gap still.
That's correct.
Well, what about volunteer opportunities? Even if you don't have a medical degree, or you're not a dental hygienist, or have a dental schooling process, are there places for other volunteer opportunities?
There is. We have a program, it's our PAP program, which is a prescription assistance program. And that is for patients that need medications beyond what we offer, and we help patients apply for that to the pharmaceutical companies. And right now we have a huge need of a consistent volunteer, because there's training that needs to be done on that, so we don't want to do it over and over and over again. But we need someone who has knowledge of the computer that can help our patients walk through those steps and then receive the medications that they need.
Fantastic. So tell us again where the clinic is located and what your hours of operation are.
We are at 222 Northwest 12th Street, which is 12th and Harvey in downtown Oklahoma City. So we're kind of in the heart of the city of what's going on. I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question?
Hours of operation.
Oh, hours of operation. We are there Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays from 8:30 in the morning to usually about 8:30 in the evening. And on Wednesdays, it's 8 to 5, and we're there on Friday mornings.
Okay. And so if someone wants to check you out, they can go to the website, or they can come by the clinic and either volunteer or find out maybe if they're one of those people that are falling in the gap, how your free services might be available to them, because this is a free clinic that's provided to these people because of the partnerships that you've been able to establish.
Yes,
well, thank you for providing Good Shepherd Ministries to Oklahoma City and to all the people that are desperately in need when they fall in those cracks that can't be covered elsewhere. And in addition, they provide spiritual care. In every situation, they have an opportunity for those that may want to pray, and they can pray with them as well. So Good Shepherd Ministries right here in Oklahoma City, pray for them, consider volunteering, but make sure you put them on your prayer list.